Hey, what's up guys, Benny here and welcome to Xbox On. So last week we took a look at everything that you needed to know before starting to play Call of Duty WW2. But in this video, I'm going to give you some tips to help make you better at the game so you can start beating all of your friends. Now, my first tip is going to lay down your foundations for getting the best aim possible, which is going to help you be much better at Call of Duty, and that's choosing your sensitivity. Over the past 3 years, you'll probably have used a higher sensitivity than you should be using in Call of Duty WW2, and that's because over the past few years, we've had that advanced movement, which has made enemies move around a hell of a lot quicker than they're going to be doing in this year's Call of Duty. Now, there's a couple of things to keep in mind with sensitivity. The higher the sensitivity, the more reactive you can be, such as being able to turn on an enemy shooting you from behind, or having the ability to quickly snap onto an opponent on the far side of your screen. And having a higher sensitivity is something I would definitely recommend if you're going to be sniping a lot, or you can adjust your sensitivity when you decide to snipe. But on the other hand, the lower sensitivity you have, the more overall control you have of your aim. You're not going to be able to be as reactive as a high sensitivity, so if you get shot from behind, they're going to have a fairly decent chance of taking you out. However, with a lower sensitivity, you're going to have far better accuracy, especially at medium to long range, and there's a reason 99% of the pro players tend to use a lower sensitivity, because it gives you that greater sense of control. And with Call of Duty WW2 being boots on the ground, it's going to be a lot less likely that you're going to have to make as many fast movements to lock onto the enemy. For example, on the last boots on the ground Call of Duty Ghost, I used to use a 2 sensitivity when I played professionally, and it helped me an absolute ton. So personally, I would recommend in this year's Call of Duty to use a lower sensitivity, as at higher sensitivities, it's a lot harder to make those small adjustments when trying to take enemies out from a distance. Though by all means you don't have to use a low sensitivity to be accurate. Some of the best players I know play on the highest sensitivity possible and are still very, very accurate. But on a whole, you're going to be far better off with a lower sensitivity. So head over to settings and set your horizontal and vertical sensitivity to a 4 or a 3, and if you're sniping, I would raise that to a 6. Now, in this year's Call of Duty, the create a class system you'll have known from previous Call of Duties has completely changed and has instead been replaced by the 5 divisions. But along with choosing your division, you'll also have to choose a basic training, which gives you a couple additional perks alongside your division of choice. So in order to unlock some of the best basic training options, you'll want to be prestiging your divisions. The infantry prestige basic training unlock is called Scoped and gives you the ability to move faster whilst aiming down sights along with an additional primary weapon attachment, which means you could combine that with the mountain division, which would mean you would be able to move silently and pretty much gain the ability to not be heard through other players' headphones, but also be moving faster whilst aiming down sights, so you can get some really nice class combinations through this new system. But talking about making sure you're unlocking all the available basic training from prestiging your divisions, you're also going to want to make sure you're using the best possible class setups to get that edge over your enemies in a multiplayer match. If you're wanting to use an assault rifle, make sure you're using the BAR. It did recently get its fire rate slightly reduced, but it is still without a doubt one of the most powerful weapons in the game. And if you combine it with the primed basic training that gives you an extra weapon attachment and most importantly makes you flinch less when you're shot, which is going to help you win a lot of 1v1 gunfights that you would have otherwise lost. You're also going to want to make sure you're using the best weapon attachments, which if you're using the infantry division, which is something that I'd recommend with an assault rifle, you'll have 4 attachments to choose. So I would suggest using Quick Draw, as that helps with the fast-paced nature of Call of Duty, Extended Mag, as the BAR especially has a fairly low magazine size, Grip to help reduce the weapon's recoil, and then finally, I'd recommend using the Reflex Sight so you can line up your shots that little bit easier at all ranges. But remember, this class setup will work across the majority of automatic assault rifles, which are without a doubt the most dominant weapon type in this year's Call of Duty, so you could use the STG until you go ahead and unlock the BAR at level 52. Now, you won't be able to unlock the BAR till level 52, so I thought I'd give you some tips to level up as quickly as possible. Firstly, make sure you're playing objective modes like Domination and Kill Confirmed, and play the objective. It'll help you rank up so much faster. Also, make sure you're taking advantage of the time between games to go grab contracts from the headquarters, where you'll get bonus experience or extra supply drops for completing them, which will help you level up so much faster than if you just forget about them and don't do them at all. Also, use a variety of different weapons, as you'll gain experience for completing weapon challenges and ranking your guns up, and you'll unlock that BAR in no time at all. Now, the headquarters isn't just for collecting contracts so you can gain more experience. It also has a couple of places that you should definitely take advantage of to practice and warm up before hopping into a multiplayer match. First of all is the gun range, which you can use to test out different weapons as well as work on your aim at different ranges, which is something a lot of people definitely overlook, and the time you put in here will definitely carry over to an actual multiplayer match. Another place you have to go in the headquarters is the Scorestreak Range, because how often in previous Call of Duties have you managed to earn a score streak to then realize you don't know how to properly use it and end up wasting it in that multiplayer game after you spend all match trying to earn it? Now personally, I know I've done that a lot in the past and it's quite frustrating. But in Call of Duty WW2, you're going to be able to go to the Scorestreak Range and just test out every score streak in the game and learn exactly what you need to do to get the most kills with each individual score streak, so you're just going to perform so much better in WW2. Now, my final tip for you in this video to help you get better at Call of Duty WW2 is to just practice, practice, practice. It's like anything that you'll ever do in life, the more time you put into it, the better you'll get, as your aim will improve as you get that muscle memory, your map knowledge will improve, and you'll know the best places to go, where the best bits of cover are, where to throw your grenades, and so on. So just keep at it and also take advantage of all the tips you've gained in this video, and you'll be better at Call of Duty WW2 in no time at all. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel and drop a thumbs up. Also make sure to share any more tips that you've got down in the comments below, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.